I thought there was no way that the Jurassic World franchise could entertain me again after the last film. I didn't think that they could do something fun or interesting. And you know what? I was wrong. Jurassic World Rebirth is a fun blockbuster. It is a perfectly fine film. And when the films that came before were so very dull and disappointing, I can't help but just put my hands up and smile about this one.
It's a bit of a gamble when you explore the Jurassic movies. They are hit and miss, especially Dominion. I was down to my knees crying because why do we need to make more of this? This is just pointless. This is just garbage. This one was a bit of a surprise for me, Gareth Edwards. His stylistic choices with the cameras are so interesting. The use of the Sony E30, I believe, it led out to very amazing special effects. It had more of an impact with the cinematography. It led to much more interesting sequences in the movie, and it had a larger aspect ratio. It's very cool. It's a very cool film. Do see this film. It's a good film.
Absolutely. You come to these movies and you want dinosaurs, you want excitement, you want to be thrilled, and
You want to be terrified as well.
we get all of those things. Cue the music.
This is the Out of Time Film Podcast, where your hosts Tom and John discuss everything from blockbuster films to TV and games like there's no tomorrow.
You bring up a good point about being terrified because this is a film for kids, for families, and I think this film will be sufficiently scary for children, as it should be. It excites me at the prospect of a young kid going to see this film and absolutely just shitting themselves over some of the sequences. I don't want to spend the entire video just comparing this to Dominion, but Dominion had locusts and it was so boring.
It's like bringing
it
in
wasn't
scary
fun.
beavers or something. It's like beavers take away the water or something like.
Exactly. The dinosaurs are what are interesting, and we certainly got a good array of them in this film. There are some fantastic sequences, and it's all beautifully put together. Gareth Edwards, he knows what he's doing when it comes to putting together an action set piece with large things, whether that be Godzilla or a spaceship or a dinosaur. He knows how to handle those things. I think he was a great choice to make this film. Having said that, it's not a perfect film by any means. It's not really reinventing the wheel. The closest thing that I think you could compare this film to is Alien Romulus.
Yes.
It is the Alien Romulus of the Jurassic World movies. It does so many things you've seen before very well, but none of it is really that new.
Yeah, it's not redefining the genre. It's kind of frustrating when you want to see something new in the Jurassic movies. It would be very nice to see something different. But I think there was some elements that are surprising, especially that we got this mutated dinosaurs, very cool designs. What was different as well was the stylistic choicing, the color grading, the whole set. That was refreshing. But then again, they don't do something new. If people are looking for that, this is not really for you.
Yeah, if you are somebody who wants something new from this franchise, it might be time to give up because they haven't really...
Give up your dreams right now!
Go home! Find another franchise! Because
Yeah.
the thing about the first movie is that, oh my god, dinosaurs, right? We are on our seventh, oh my god, dinosaurs now, and you can't recapture that initial wonder that you got from that first film. There's no way to make it more exciting than what we got there. So, as much as there are new ideas here and there, it's all knocking on the same doors. The plot is quite simple. It's nothing we haven't seen before. We got a corporate guy and he assembles a team of rangers and one scientist to go and get some samples from dinosaurs. On island number 3, there is a third one apparently.
The third one, the hidden one that we didn't know along the way.
That's the one, yeah. And then they go and it's all fine. Nothing bad happens. Oh wait, there are dinosaurs. And there's also a family who also get tangled up. And it's Jurassic Park. What do you expect? I can't wait for Jurassic World 7 when they introduce the fourth island.
Apparently, this island is full of angry beavers. This is going
What?
to be...
I don't understand. What's this thing with angry beavers? This is the second
I
time.
don't know. It's just like
Okay.
the locusts. We have to bring something a bit more terrifying. Beavers. I don't know why.
Beavers.
It's just the concept of it.
Sure.
It's something that's terrifying more than the locusts.
John wakes up in a cold sweat every night, thinking of the scariest thing known to man, beavers. Let's hope that we never do Narnia on the pod, because there are quite a few beavers in Narnia.
Oh god, this is going to be like the law for the podcast. It's like John is
Yeah.
actually terrified of beavers. I'm not.
I think you are. I
Yeah,
think you're
no,
lying.
I'm not. I'm not feeling my inner emotional turmoil about beavers.
Your,
No.
your inner demons or or should I say inner beavers. One thing that sets this one apart from a couple of the last ones is that instead of it being one villainous dinosaur, one like Indominus Rex or whatever, instead we get a good variation of types of dinosaurs. There's a sequence with a mosasaur and Spinosauruses in the water. We get a T-Rex sequence, of course. We get one with a flying pterodactyl or pterodon-esque thing. And then there's the big mutated final boss. But it isn't there throughout the movie. It only gets 2 scenes. We're using these things sparingly and it works quite well. There's a lot of variation in this film, but not in the sense that it feels like a highlight reel. In many ways, Alien Romulus, as a comparison point, did feel a bit like a highlight reel. Even, I think some of the other films in this franchise have felt like a highlight reel of what's come before. This one didn't massively, which I appreciated.
Yeah. When you think of Jurassic, the bar is set high for this. There's lovely moments in this film that I fully appreciated. It took a little bit from the original. There was one moment with Jonathan Bailey's character where he interacts with the Titanosaurus. It's a beautiful scene with the score. It's a spectacle and something that feels out of reality, but it's something beautiful to look at. Then again, there is a lot of build-up, which is kind of hard to get into with so many character introductions. There's a lot of things that we have to learn about these characters. It didn't really fully settle in for me. I would love to find out more about Mahershala Ali's character. I thought there needed to be something more with him. He was very charming in this film, but Jonathan Bailey's character had much more of emotional weight. And Scarlett Johansson as well. Scarlett Johansson was there, didn't really have that impact for me. She's very cool, but didn't have that impact. It sucked.
Yeah, the character work is not amazing in this one. There is obviously the factor, as I said before, you do come to these movies for dinosaurs, not really for characters, but I don't like that way of thinking. You can have both. Look at the first Jurassic Park movie. Look at something like Godzilla Minus One. The humans don't have to drag down the plot. They can be just as exciting and emotional as seeing the dinosaurs, the spectacle. The moment where I felt the most for the characters was that scene where Jonathan Bailey sees the Titanosauruses. His excitement, I believe that he is stunned and amazed. He's a scientist. He is fascinated by his creatures and never thought he would get to see one. But that's one moment in this movie that is 2 hours, 13 minutes. And I really didn't get a lot from many of the others. Before we even see any dinosaurs in this film properly, we get 30 minutes, 20 minutes. It felt like forever, which was setting up the plot, setting up the characters. And oh my God, I was so bored. It was truly so uninspired. It's character types we've seen before, the businessman and the hands-on adventurers, or like the innocent family. I've seen it all before, dude, and none of these things, even though we have some great actors, none of them reinvent the wheel. And so when we were just getting all this setup, I just thought it was so dull and so boring. And the dialogue as well, I just thought was so... What's the opposite of charming? It's just charismaless. It was absolutely... you think about what you need to make an ensemble work. It's chemistry. And some of the characters have chemistry, but the scripts are not doing anything. Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Rupert Friend, Jonathan Bailey, each of them individually could have chemistry with a brick wall. They are incredible, but the script gives them nothing. The script turns them into brick walls. So it's just brick wall against brick wall. I didn't feel anything for any of them, apart from that one moment when Jonathan Bailey kind of shared my excitement at seeing the dinosaurs.
It was a lovely moment. It's just a dialogue that doesn't fit. It feels weird. It feels out of place, especially with your friend. Friend? Is it friend? It is friend.
Friend, yeah.
He wasn't friendly at all. With him being the antagonist, there was momentum.
Yeah, and the conflict was rarely born out of the characters. It was always, a dinosaur shows up or another dinosaur shows up. And the closest you get is with Rupert Friend, where one of the characters, a teenage girl, is hanging off the boat and she's screaming for him to help. And he looks at her and he kind of smiles like, yeah, let her die. And she falls off the boat because of him. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. Like, what kind of side is this? I didn't think they would go so hard with it. They don't really do anything with that, which is a shame. But dinosaurs, and we do get some good dinosaur stuff in this. This film, it's still called Jurassic World, but it doesn't really feel like a Jurassic World movie. It feels like the start of a new kind of trilogy. I always thought it should be called Jurassic Earth, but this is more contained, so whatever. But I have a pitch for you, John.
Okay.
We're going to call this one Jurassic Bath Time, because everyone's in the water in this movie. Everyone, even the T-Rex. We see a T-Rex, and the first thing it does after it wakes up from some nap, it takes a dip in the lake. And I tell you what, all the dinosaurs, ones who I've never even imagined of swimming before, they all take a dunk. All the people are getting wet. There's one point we get a close up of somebody's Converse going in the water, shoes full of water. Everyone, I can see people's nipples. Everyone is wet as hell. This is the Jurassic Park SeaWorld experiment. This is like a post-Avatar Way of Water world. I loved it.
The marketing's gonna go crazy. They're gonna have bath salts or something with this.
Yes!
And
Jurassic
it'd be-
Park bath bomb.
You know, like those towels. Do you remember those towels that was like in the bath bomb?
Yes.
Imagine one for the T-Rex. You see the T-Rex
Big
coming out of the
fan.
water. Oh, we're gonna make billions out of that. Yeah, it's strange that a lot of sequences are in water.
It has so much water.
Imagine 40X. Imagine that. The whole cinema's gonna be
Oh.
flooded. It's gonna be flooded.
Oh my god, that'd be life-changing. Even, I think Jonathan Bailey's character, at one point, his rucksack is like half in the water, and I was thinking, well, the rucksack's lost all of its integrity.
The
It's not going to
coffee's
keep anything
gone.
safe.
The chocolate milk thing. I don't know what's happened to that. It's gonna
Sorry?
be gone.
The
chocolate
what?
milk. The chocolate milk. The chalky milk. The you know the.
No, I'm
Anyway,
not.
anyway.
Is this like a
I'm just
Jurassic
making
Park
stuff up.
reference?
No.
I tell you what, there are some weird product placements in this film.
There
The
are,
thing that-
yes.
the opening scene, the thing that sets the entire film into motion and releases all the dinosaurs, is a Snickers wrapper. I knew Snickers were evil.
And then we had Skittles. No, it was something else that we had.
M&Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one bit where somebody hides in a fridge, and in the fridge next to her is a bunch of Dr. Peppers, of course.
Dr. Pepper. So.
Yeah, that's right. What's the worst that could happen?
So there's a lot of product placement, which feels weird. Have we seen that before in the Jurassic era? Like,
Probably. Yes, in the first Jurassic World, there's like a really on-the-nose product placement for...
But I can't
like,
remember what it was.
Is it like Margarita something? And like the CEO of...
Maybe.
I'm gonna Google it. Yes, Jimmy Buffett is the owner of Margaritaville, and he plays a bartender in Jurassic World, and he can be seen carrying 2 margaritas while pterosaurs were set loose on the park. You know that scene where they all swoop down to the park, and he grabbing the 2 margaritas? That is how you use
Oh,
product
that's a great
placement in the
cameo
movie.
right there. He's just selling margaritas.
Those are the Jurassic World films. They lent into the corporate side of it a little bit more. This one,
Yes.
it goes back to basics, much like... Never mind. I was going to say much like Alien Romulus, but I want to stop comparing it.
You're speaking
But-
too much of Alien Romulus right here. We
God
had that
damn
last
it.
summer, Tom.
I genuinely feel like, and let this be the last time I bring it up, but much like Jurassic World and Ghostbusters Afterlife and Star Wars The Force Awakens, they're all a very specific kind of legacy sequel. They heavily lean into the nostalgia. I feel like Alien Romulus and Jurassic World Rebirth are a new kind of legacy sequel that are a little bit less obnoxious about it and a little bit more like they hint to what you love about the franchise, giving you things familiar without being like, hey, it's the music, or hey, it's this guy from the other movies. Having said that, Ash is in Alien Romulus, but in this film, there are references to the other films, but it's sparing. Like the music, there's only like 3 scenes with the John Williams score for Jurassic Park. I thought that was quite good, that it wasn't completely in your face.
Yeah, there wasn't really anyone from the Jurassic movies, which made it so different. Like, that's how you know it's not going in for the nostalgia bait. It's so much better to have cast like this and just went, let's go to the basics.
Feels like a soft reboot, if anything. They don't really mention any of the characters from the others. Alan Grant gets a passing remark. You couldn't see Chris Pratt showing up.
On his motorcycle, just going to the jungle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's different kinds of movie. What I liked about this one is it's very practical. Every set, or not set, or location, there wasn't a single time that I felt that they weren't actually in a jungle. There is one moment where they're like abseiling down a cliff, and it does not look like they're actually doing that. But other than that, it's really solid. However, one thing that I did miss, that it felt like we didn't get much of, it could be the way that it's shot, or it could just be because there wasn't much of it at all. Practical dinosaurs. I noticed one, and it was half dead. Pretty much every dinosaur in this movie is a CGI creation. Even in the moment when Jonathan Bailey is touching one, it didn't look quite like it was actually there on set with him. And that's a massive shame, because maybe the best thing that we have had consistently across this franchise, a franchise of up and downs, are the dinosaurs and the animatronics always look incredible.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the original movie, was the practicality of the dinosaurs that made it so real and so terrifying. That's the one thing that I always take from the original movies. In this one, I agree, they should have done something to make it practical and real. I think it did much better in terms of realism. I think it's the color grading It was shot on film, by the way, 35 mil. I miss when films are on actual film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really nice grain to it. It all looked pretty flawless, and all the sound design is incredible. It's the scariest one that we've had for a while.
Yes.
There's just really nice tension building in many of the set pieces.
One thing about this movie is they've done an excellent way of faking out. So one of the moments that we had, one of the characters was climbing and there was this massive cross pterodactyl thing and it was chasing up this one character. This character was just climbing up like, help, help, help. Two characters up there trying to save the guy. And as they pull up, the dude gets eaten by the pterodactyl. And that's insane. Like you thought he was going to survive, but not. And then there's another moment like that when the helicopter comes around to save people in this facility on the island. And there's like a bunch of mist that's coming out of the facility. The helicopter comes through, and then you see the massive, terrifying mutated dinosaur, the D-Rex, I think it's called. You see the helicopter come through the mist, but the mutated dinosaur is literally biting the helicopter as it goes through the mist. It's so cool. It's one of my favorite shots.
It's such a great shot, and it takes all the relief out the scene. It racks the tension straight back up to see that it's just like literally in the jaws of this creature. It's great, and this is a good time to go into spoilers. There's not a whole lot to spoil for this movie, but
Yeah.
And there is also a fake out death scene for Mahershala Ali where he runs off with a flare to lure the mutate dinosaur away. And I was like, oh, come on, man. You didn't have to die. You were cool. Nobody has been developed enough to the point where I really care about them dying. And so I was like, oh, you just gotta kill Mahershala Ali like that. And then he actually survives. I guess the insinuation is the flare runs out and the dinosaur can't see him anymore. And then he gets back to them. I just like, yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. And a lot of it does harken back to other things in the franchise, but done fairly well. I liked how at the end of the movie, instead of it being everybody's safe and they're going home and they see a pterodactyl flying, that's the classic one. Instead, they see dolphins. And there's something so nice about the film reminding you how beautiful the real world is. You know, not just dinosaurs and cool, scary things you've never seen before. It's just decent. I think if this film had better character work, and that is an issue with quite a few of the Jurassic World movies, if it had better character work, this film would be one of the best of the series.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's solid.
Yeah. And also, I did like the piano score at the end with the Jurassic Park theme. It's
Yeah.
nice. It was nice.
Yeah, and Jonathan Bailey actually played
Yes, I
the
saw that.
clarinet.
That's so
Yeah.
cool with the orchestra. It's so cool.
That's
I love
so
that.
fun. Yeah, I know.
Imagine
just like
playing that for the film, and you're just like, I want to do the score.
do 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 do. It wasn't actually the Jurassic Park. I can't remember the theme. I'm sorry.
You just whip that out of your mind, just like, yeah.
That'll do.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention about the family in this movie. There's a family.
Yeah, there's a family. I found pretty much all of them really annoying.
Yeah, especially the boyfriend.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, oh god. He felt like he was gonna die first. You know, like one of those mouse traps. You feel like, okay, he's definitely gonna die because of his naivety. You know, he's very arrogant.
He's supposed to go through an arc at the end, and there's a moment where the dad turns back and looks at him and is like, you know, he gives him a look of, you've done well, kid. And it's like, no, you did nothing.
He did nothing. He literally did nothing in this movie. Oh yeah, there was one moment that he was peeing in the jungle, and then there was one velociraptor and one cross pterodactyl fighting behind him, and he continues to pee.
That was our only velociraptor moment in the movie, and it was a fake out. And I really like that because we had just had 3 movies of heavy velociraptor stuff. Same with the T-Rex. The T-Rex only gets the one scene, which is ripped straight out of the original book, the original Michael Crichton
love
book.
that.
T-Rex taking a bath, as I said earlier. Yeah, I like that they focused on different things rather than just doing what we've seen again and again. Yeah, perfectly fine film.
A good film. What are you going to give it out of 10, Tom?
Aha, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. How about you?
I'm going to give it a 7. Feeling positive on this. So.
Fantastic. We're building a decent blockbuster season this year.
Yes, and we're eating good. Unfortunately, this is going to get sandwiched between F1, Fantastic Four, and then Superman. So
yeah, like, is it worth seeing above Superman or F1? Probably not. Will it make $1 billion like all the other Jurassic World movies? Maybe not, actually. But will it get a sequel? Probably. So, you know, sure, man. Thank you everybody for listening. If you're listening on YouTube and you liked it, you can like and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, you can follow and give us a 5-star review if you think we're worthy.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Out of Time Film Pod to see our incredible thumbnails from Zain Afzal, on Twitter for more thoughts from Tom and me, and TikTok to see edited clips, which are all also on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. And you can find links to that in the description below. Thanks to Jones-Meyer for the excellent theme and Ronan Phillips for vocals as always. And I think that's everything. Take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.